Hello, my name is Chris Asaro, and I am president of Holt Construction. Holt Construction is one of the country's leading builders, and we are especially recognized for our work in the aviation sector with a large portfolio in the Northeast as well as across the country. We have been working at Newark Liberty International Airport for over 30 years, and our offices at the airport are always open to you. Holt is very committed to diversity and including small and local businesses, especially MWBEs, local businesses, and veteran-owned businesses in our projects. Our work also supports local residents to help them build a career in construction. This year, we have launched a new program, Building Newark Airport Together. That features special sessions every Friday, noon to 1 p.m. These sessions provide you with important information about contract and career opportunities and will open the gate to building your business and your career with us. Today, our session, Navigating Opportunities at Newark's Terminal A, will give you a deeper understanding of the projects at Newark's Terminal A, what we are looking for in our subcontractors, and our expectations for their performance at the airport. Now, it's my pleasure to welcome your program host, Alexandria Parati, Holt's Director of Corporate Initiatives and Strategic Planning. Welcome, Alex.
Thanks, Chris. I'm Alexandria Parati, and I'm pleased to serve as your program host for our Opportunity Fridays series. Opportunity Fridays are important sessions that will introduce you to what you need to know about working with Holt Construction, as well as the specific contract packages that are available for bidding on Newark's Terminal A. We also want local residents to learn more about how they can work with Holt Construction, as well as on our airport projects. As an organization, Holt is truly committed to building Newark Airport together. Each of our Opportunity Friday sessions are devoted to a specific topic and include an opportunity for live questions and answers. At the end of each informational session, we will review direct contract opportunities that you may be interested in bidding once you have pre-qualified with us. So let's start with today's session, Navigating Opportunities at Newark's Terminal A. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. Today's session on contract opportunities will introduce you to all of the opportunities unfolding at Newark's Terminal A, the largest design build project in New Jersey and the centerpiece of New Jersey's economic development revitalization for Newark Liberty International Airport. This session will help you understand the scope of projects, schedules, and how to begin to prepare for Holt's pre-qualification process. And with that being said, I'm going to have our panelists introduce themselves, starting off with Jason Leisure. Jason?
Thanks, Alex. I'm Jason Leisure, project executive and leader of all of Holt's New Jersey operations.
Joe?
How are you? I'm Joe Martinez, Director of Pre-Construction Services for Holt International.
Alec?
Alec Ross, Purchasing Manager with Holt Construction.
Pam?
Hi, I'm Pamela Skidmore, and I'm one of Holt's project managers at Newark Terminal A.
Great. Thank you, everyone, for joining the panel today to discuss the current offerings for Newark's Terminal A for Holt Construction. Jason, can you go over Project 3 to kick us off?
Sure. This is one of our largest food and beverage locations at the new Terminal A. It's a nearly 5,500 square foot concession space consisting of a restaurant, a bar, and a market. A number of different finishes are included in this package, metals, woods and plastic specialty metals, entire drywall package, specialty ceilings, specialty tile and stone, a lot of new high-end millwork designs. It's going to be a great space.
That sounds like a really cool offering. Pam, can you go over Project 4 for us?
4 is a new food and beverage bar in the new terminal. It's approximately 2,400 square feet. Going to be high-end finishes, very sleek design. We have all the trades you can think of, and it'll be an exciting build.
Great. Project number 6, Jason, will you touch that one?
Sure. This is a smaller location, albeit also high-end, nearly 1,500 square feet. grab and go, food and beverage, small seating area, but very clean design, a lot of finishes, and a lot of different components that a lot of larger restaurants have in a smaller space.
Thank you, Jason. Pam, can you touch on project 7, please?
Sure. Project number 7 is an approximate 900 square foot food and beverage concession, which is a boutique style coffee and healthy eating space.
That's great. So it really sounds like all 4 offerings are unique and have distinct packages, but it seems like all the trades that we're looking for are kind of about the same. Is that right, Jason?
That's correct. Across the board for each one of the projects, there's some comparison between all of them, although the looks are a little bit different.
Right. And in proximity to where they are each located, are they close to each other? Are they far apart, or do they vary where they are, Jason?
They vary. There's some in the North Pier, there's some in the South Pier, some along the Hammerhead. There's different locations throughout the terminal.
Okay. And Joe Martinez, when they're looking at these projects, some might have trade scopes that are, $500,000 and some might be $5,000, right? There's a fit for everyone in all of these projects.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, a lot of these little food and beverages, again, range in size too. So you can have a 500 square foot kiosk, and then it could be a more of a sit down facility. And yeah, so the scopes will actually range with the size of the project.
So it definitely sounds like there's something for everyone in these first 4 offerings that we have so far for the new Terminal A.
Absolutely.
Pam,
correct.
I did hear you say that some of the opportunities, and I know on our website, some of them passed 2 days ago, their due dates were, but what do you suggest if a due date has passed, but maybe somebody's a little late, they didn't join our event in December and they just learned about our programming? What do you suggest they do if they do want to submit a proposal for one of these first 4 offerings?
Well, if a subcontractor is interested post the bid date, we recommend sending an email to our EWRTA@holtcc.com, and we will review any bids, potentially extending the bid date for that specific subcontractor.
Great. Now, Alec, this is your first time joining us, and everyone here is excited to meet you because you are our purchasing manager. So you're the one that looks at all the bids. We've heard a bunch of questions in the past when people ask what a purchasing manager does. So when we say scope and level, and you're making sure that the bids are leveled, what does that mean?
Well, we want to make sure that the bids that each trade is capturing the work that we need to build the job in the same manner. So basically they need to be apples to apples to each other. So when I'm leveling, I'm going to be asking them if they have reviewed all the documents that we sent them, if they have the schedule, if they have the local Port Authority requirements to build the job, and if they're registered with the Port Authority. And ultimately, we want to make sure that they'll be able to furnish and install the job as required by the drawings and specifications and our scopes of work. But I'll be vetting that through each trade and sub to make sure that they're all carrying the same kind of work that we need.
Right. So not only is our estimating and our operational team important for everybody to know, it's you that's the one that looks at them and makes sure that everybody has full scope, because we don't want to turn it over to Pam, who's building the job, with not all the scope, and we don't want a subcontractor to get hurt on one of our projects. We want to make sure that they have everything that they need to build the project, right?
Absolutely, and we'll go through their exclusions and qualifications, make sure that they're not excluding or qualifying something that we need. And ultimately, we want to deliver a package and a contract to the operations team so that when they do go to build, that things are complete.
Great. Now, Joe, for estimating, because you lead up our estimating and our purchasing department, so you have a very large role in all of this. What do you expect on the estimating side when a contractor submits a proposal? How do they submit a proposal to Holt Construction? How does that happen?
We at Holt, we use a protocol Building Connected. So a lot of our bidding comes out of, or the invites will come via Building Connected. Most of our pre-qualification happens on Building Connected. So those those subcontractors that are pre-qualified to do our work already, are already familiar with the protocol. We send them an invite. They go through plans and specifications, as Alex was saying. We, as the estimating team, try and capture the fact that they have the entire scope covered. We provide the leveling sheets to Alex. He reviews them with estimating. I'm sure maybe you'll get into later. We try and quantify their MWBE requirements, their MWBE requirements, and then we compile the bids and we submit to the client. Contingent upon whether it be a lump sum bid or a CM bid, those go to the clients. If it's a lump sum, we then submit that bid as a whole, holistically, to a client to see if we were then awarded the job.
Great. So it sounds like Building Connected is the gateway to not just our pre-qual, but to our bidding process. So it's a one-stop shop for everyone. And
Yes, it is.
Pam, the way that someone gets into Building Connected, or the way they get into anywhere for the new Terminal A, is an email address. Do you want to give the email address that they can contact us at?
That email address would be ewrta@holtcc.com.
Now, Jason, as the head of our New Jersey operations, what do you look for in a subcontractor? What are certain tips that you could give all the subcontractors joining us on how to submit a proper proposal? If they have any questions, what do you like to see from a sub?
At first, I'd like them to be asking questions, making sure that they are looking into the documents in depth, knowing that they're understanding the complexity and the enormity of the project and their trade specifics. I'm also looking for a subcontractor that I know has the bandwidth to be able to man the project and properly staff it throughout the project.
Okay. Pam, before a subcontractor starts on a Holt project, they walk on our job site, they have their subcontract from us. What are certain things that they need to provide before they start working on the project?
Well, first and foremost, we need to have our certificate of insurance from them, meeting any of the contract verbiage. We'll also need to make sure that their contract is executed and all their compliance documentation is in place.
Perfect. So that's like their HASP has to be in place. And it's not just, so the difference between the HASP that they submit when they pre-qual and the HASP that they submit for you, Pam, that HASP is specific to that project, correct? And the insurance requirements are specific to each project. So if they're awarded more than one project, it's different certificates of insurance, it's different HASPs, it's all of that good stuff specific to the project, correct?
That is correct.
Joe, on the estimating side, is there anything special that you're looking for these Newark projects that are kind of different from other projects that Holt's offering? Is there something specific for Terminal A that you're looking for from the subs?
Absolutely. Prior to this, let's say at other airports, we've always been asked to provide a best effort on the MWBE requirement. I think it's an initiative with Newark that they're actually making it a standard, and they want that 30% requirement as a definite. So what we're asking for, and I think would be advantageous to a lot of subcontractors, is if they can look for any local participation. If there's a local supplier that is within the radius that's required from Newark, that would be great. It would just help us. It would help the community. It's something that we're proactively bringing forth to Newark. So I think that would definitely help any contractor to provide us as much MWBE fulfillment as possible.
I believe that's what the Port Authority calls diversity within diversity, having one contractor pair with another contractor for the benefit of both, so that the smaller contractor can gain opportunity on the project and then grow from that, and then hopefully gain a larger contract on the next opportunity because they have that knowledge base from the larger contract. Plus, there's so many suppliers, and I mean, we live in an industrial area in Newark and Elizabeth that there are many subcontractors and vendors here that there's a lot to offer here in the area.
Yeah.
So Alec, when you're looking at the bids and you're leveling, that is something that you're looking for, the local participation or the diversity within diversity that a subcontractor can offer?
Yeah, absolutely. Our hope is that the vendor or the subcontractor themselves is a prime W or MWBE, and that or they can partner, like you said, and sub out the install or possibly the material to help contribute to the MWBE efforts.
That's great. Now, Jason, let's talk about Terminal A, because I know lots of people haven't been inside. I know it's scheduled to open in the spring of this year. So we want to make sure that everyone is aware of the site logistics. How do you get in and out? What do you need? What can't you have? Like, when a worker or a sub wants to work on the site, are there any special logistics that they need to know about? Is there any entrance points, escorting, all those nuances of working the airport that you could help out with?
Well, the first point for escorting, that's going to depend on when and timing of when they're going to be on site and whether or not that's going to make the project landside or airside. But for logistically speaking, there are entry points that are mandated and dictated by the base building contractor and by the operator. And we're going to provide that to all our contractors that are going to be working on these projects. We'll coordinate that effort. We'll be working with the base building contractor, the operator, and scheduling those deliveries and access into the building. It's going to be a large joint effort between all those entities as we're navigating to get the building completed.
Right, because we all know that you can have a building, but you need the concessions to be done too for the passengers who will be traveling through that new building. So it's going to be a difficult project for all of you, but I know that you guys are used to doing it. We've done it at LaGuardia, we've done it at JFK, we did it at Terminal C in Newark, and we're going to do it here in Terminal A, where Holt is very versed in construction within construction, we like to say. So we know how to navigate this well. What about SWAC, Jason? Do the workforce working in this terminal, do they need SWAC? Do they need badging? What do they need to work at Newark?
They do need SWAC access. They're going to need to go through the SWAC process, get themselves their approvals through that office. There is a local office here at the campus, the EWR campus. And then once it does go airside, SITA badges will be required. If not, then there'll be security escorting. I would advise if there is the ability for you to get SITA badged, to go through that process as well. But for access now, SWAC is required.
And Jason, we talked about SWAC. So just for everyone new here who hasn't worked in the airport, what does SWAC stand for?
Stands for Secure Worker Access Consortium. It's a unique cooperative program that delivers identity verification, criminal history checks, and a lot of other screening services to help and validate the workforce.
Right. And we do all of that screening and all of those background checks on the workforce, on our own project managers, on anyone that has access to the airport for security reasons. So if anyone has any questions regarding that, you could put them in the chat and we can forward them off to the Port Authority, and they'll be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you, Jason. So Pam, last question before we go into the live opportunities. What do you like communication to be on your job site? So when a subcontractor has a question or do they have a problem, I know there's superintendents on site and then you are in the office. How do you like that communication to happen? Do you have field questions to your PM? Do you have, how do you do that? What do you like to see?
I like to see open communication, and while answering or asking a question in the field to our super, and our super can pass that question to our project management team, we also ask that they ask their project management team to send an email or some form of correspondence to our team so that there's an accurate recording of what the question is that may impact them within their own office.
Perfect. Thank you, Pam, and thank you, panel, for joining us today. And let's go to the live opportunities. afternoon, everyone, and thank you again for joining us. Let's go through the current offerings for Newark's Terminal A through Holt Construction. Project number 1. Estimated schedule is April of 2022, December of 2024. This is a 60,000 square foot ground up construction. Bidding is going to start for this project Q2 of 2022. So make sure you get your applications in for pre-qualification. And remember, in order to be part of any of these offerings, you must be approved through our building connected system. So please send emails requesting the pre-qual to EWRTA@holtcc.com, and we will put that in the chat for you so you have it. So project number 1, within this offering are the following scopes of work: scaffolding, protection, general conditions, materials and cleaning labor, fence construction, signage, site work, utility service, driven piles, foundations, concrete foundations, demolition, structural steel, masonry, both exterior and interior roof, interior level stair and elevator shafts, elevators, structural steel and decking, miscellaneous metals, roofing, roof guard railings, wall panels, louvers, curtain wall systems, fireproofing, fire stopping, doors and hardware, interior and exterior, floodgates, fire curtains, windows, skylights, ceiling systems, tile, stone, laminate, painting, painting ceilings, wall coverings, elevator glass, sprinklers, escalators, plumbing, HVAC, electrical and fire alarm, security, substation equipment, debris removal and hauling. That is for opportunity project number 1, which is listed on our website. You can also view them on the website, which we will put again in the chat. That's diversityagenda.com/EWRTA. You can see all of these opportunities with their bid dates there as they come around. Remember, we are in an airport environment and we are moving fast. So these opportunities are going to come and they're going to go. So we are recommending all of you, even if an opportunity isn't coming up until the spring, please submit your pre-qual now so that you could be part of these opportunities early on. Project number 2, that bid has been extended. That is going to be bidding mid-March of 2022. That is 35,000 square foot. That's a club and a terminal fit out. Existing conditions demolition, concrete, metals, wood and plastics, thermal coatings, openings, drywall, ceiling systems, flooring, stonework, terrazzo flooring, painting, millwork packages, specialty storefront branding and signage packages, conveying equipment, fire suppression, plumbing, electric, and electronic safety and security. That is project number 2, which is going to be bidding mid-March of 2022. Next project has been extended to 112, which is next week. So please make sure you're looking at this one closely. That is project number 3. It is a 5,463 square foot concession space in Terminal A, food and beverage. Within this offering are the following scopes of work: metals, wood, plastics, and composites, drywall, metal framing, ceilings, tile and stonework, flooring, painting, finishes, specialty storefront branding and signage, millwork, fire suppression, plumbing, HVAC, electric, and safety and security. Project number 5 is currently pending design, but should come out shortly. It is a 2,429 square foot concession space within Terminal A. Metals, carpentry, tile and stone, flooring, millwork, specialty signage, branding, plumbing, HVAC, electric, and safety and security. Please make sure that you send an email to EWRTA@holtcc.com to get a link for our pre-qualification system so that you could start your application. And now let me bring back our panel. With us again to reintroduce them is Jason Leisure, our project executive for New Jersey. We have Joseph Martinez, our director of pre-construction. I have Alec Ross, our purchasing manager, and Pamela Skidmore, our project manager, all working on the Newark projects. Welcome, everybody, and thank you for joining us this afternoon. You're going to take yourselves all off of mute so you can answer the questions. Question number one is, how often are opportunities made available for the Newark projects? Jason Leisure, would you like to start us off?
Sure. It's varying for those opportunities. There's a lot of them going on right now. The ones that you just spoke about, a lot of them are in bid, and there's other ones going on over the course of the next year as well.
Great. Pam, this one could be for you. What happens if I miss a deadline for a bid? Are we granting extensions, or is it on a case-by-case basis when the bids are due and when we're expected to work on site? How does that work, Pam?
We would judge on a case-by-case basis. We recommend that subcontractors interested in an opportunity that has already passed to send an email to the EWRTA@holtcc.com email and ask for an extension, and we would review if that opportunity can be extended for them.
Great. The next question, can I work on other projects with Holt, or am I limited to projects only at Newark? Alec, would you like to answer that question?
No, definitely, it's not just limited to Newark. There's other opportunities out there, and when they come, you'll definitely notice them in our invites.
Right. So we want to remind everyone that while this programming is designed for Newark Airport, once you are pre-qualified with Holt Construction, you can work at any Holt Construction site, any project that we have available. So if you want to work in New York City, if you want to work at JFK, you want to work at LaGuardia, if you want to work in Philadelphia, anywhere that Holt is, remember, we are a national company. We have business units and we have projects across the entire country. So wherever you want to work and we're there, you're going to be a part of those opportunities. So just make sure you pre-qualify. In your pre-qualification application, there's an area where you're going to mark where you want to work, what states, and just fill that out and you'll be a part of those opportunities. Next question is, what is the timeline for the bidding process? How long will it, so this is going to be a two-part. So the first part I'm going to give to you, Joe. What is the normal timeline we give for the bidding process for subcontractors?
Each project is different. We actually provide the timeline for bidding with the individual project. It's contingent upon when our deliverable is to the client. Sometimes there are multiple pieces to a project. There may be 3 or more, as everybody here knows, is maybe an enabling portion, a early works portion, and then the final job itself. Some have faster deadlines and some have more of a timeline, but the average time is anywhere between 2 to 4 weeks of bidding time. And then we have our normal procedures of our leveling and Alec has his purchasing. So the overall process could take up to 6 weeks.
Great. Now, Alec, the second part of this question is going to be for you. How long will it take for a subcontractor to hear back about their bid? I know that estimating does do some contacting, but you're the purchasing agent for Terminal A. When do you normally like to contact the subs and the discussions and the D-scope? When's that done?
Yeah, and it varies from trade to trade. We try to approach the most critical trades first, and the amount of time that we have to vet each of the subcontractors for the trades varies. It depends on the volume and the size of that trade and the project. So it's a case-by-case basis.
Great. Jason Leisure, I'm going to give you the next question. Can I still bid on opportunities without airport experience?
Absolutely. I mean, we're trying to give as many opportunities as we possibly can to any number of contractors. You're not going to have that experience without getting into these projects in some fashion. So we want to expand that sub base. We want to grow. We want to have you grow as well. We want to have you learn that experience as well, so that we can count on you for other projects in the future.
Great. And we're also going to have sessions later in our programming where we're going to pair contractors up with larger subcontractors who already have airport experience. So maybe if you don't have airport experience and you want to work under another contractor, we're going to have those pairings in our spring session. So make sure you keep going to our website and registering for our events. All of these Opportunity Friday sessions are geared to help you and us sharing our aviation knowledge with you. So we want to pay our knowledge forward to you and share it so that you could be successful as a subcontractor, because Holt Construction is only as strong as our subcontractor base. So we want to work with you. So please make sure you pre-qualify with us. The next question, Pam, is it too late to apply to be a contractor for this project? So I think that might be maybe it hit on the question already, but as far as pre-qualifying, Pam, if somebody wants an opportunity, they should pre-qualify now, correct?
Yes, we recommend sending an email to the ewrta@holtec.com email, and we'll send out the pre-qualification link. And as long as you give us your documentation, we'll do our best to push through so that you can be on these opportunities.
Right. And if a bid date has passed, because I know that 3 or 4 opportunities were bid out and bids were due a day ago, if those bids are not moving into construction quickly, can they send an email to the EWRTA email address and inquire for an extension?
Yes, send in your information, what project you're interested in, and what we'll do is we'll review on a case-by-case basis.
Okay, great. There's a question here about projects 1 and 2. Projects 1 and 2 are our larger offerings. Those are on our website. I did read those off. You could see the offerings there, as well as the bid due dates for projects 1 and projects 2. If you're a smaller firm, our smaller projects are being offered right now, so make sure you get your pre-quals in. The larger projects are coming out within the next 2 months, 3 months, so make sure you start looking and look at the square footage that we're showing you. And the packages, we're showing you exactly how big these projects are so you could find the right fit for your company. Next question, are there opportunities for special inspection, site safety management, material testing for any of these projects? Joe, can you answer that one for us? Site safety, material testing, special inspections.
Yes, all of the above. There are opportunities. Jason, you can probably help me out on this one also, as I think the port does a lot of these special inspections themselves. They will ask for us to do it, but they physically do the inspection with their own inspection. Site safety is something that we do. Contingent upon the size, we do have site safety officers that work for Holt. If, these are conversations that we have in our strategy, that if the scope gets too large, we may look to go to an outside vendor to supply that service. So that would help us. But Jason, maybe you can elaborate on what the port does and how they do their inspections. It's normally in-house.
It is normally in-house.
Right.
Those special inspections are usually done by whomever is commissioning or doing that work for the base building, or a requirement from within. It varies from project to project. And it could also be tied to the owners as well for some of those inspections.
Okay, so even if it's not on one of these projects, we should have them pre-qualify so that they're in our database and they could be part of the offerings, because they do vary in size and scope and what we are, because on some projects, right, Jason, we are CM, some projects we're a general contractor. So we might, those opportunities could come. So please
It may fall under our purview, right?
Exactly. So we want to make sure that if it's there, you have your pre-qual in and you will be part of that opportunity. And also make sure that if you are pre-qualified and you are approved, that's when you're going to get the opportunities. You'll get our RFPs, you'll get the bid documents. And if you don't get those, send an email to the EWRTA@holtcc.com, because maybe the SR estimator might have made a mistake and not pulled you into that estimate. So just send us an email and say, hey, I wanted to be part of opportunity number 1. I didn't see it yet. You know, what's the status? It's always great because we are moving fast in this terminal. So it's always great to just let us know that you're there so that you just remind us and we can add you in. Next question is, will there be a need for shuttle busing service for any of this project opportunities? So there might be, but not, I don't think so. Right now, all of our manpower, they kind of commute together. But you could send that question directly to us and we can answer it formally for you at EWRTA@holtcc.com. Next question. Are there any open contracts for professional services? Are there ongoing design being performed as part of this design build? So the projects that are design build right now, those already have they already have their EOR, AORs already there. We can take your information and forward that over to our clients. So you could send us a capability statement to the EWRTA@holtcc.com email address, and we can send your information and your statement over to our clients because they might have need on other projects. So we can make that introduction for you. Next question. Is there any opportunity for geotechnical design special inspection services? I think we answered that one. We're asking you to pre-qual because all of the jobs offerings are different. So yes, there will be opportunities on different projects, most likely on the larger ones that are coming out in the spring. Next question. If we are still completing the pre-qualification process, do you think it would be too late for the bids that were due on 1/5? Jason, if someone is still completing the pre-qual, what do you suggest them do if they want to be part of the 1/5 bid?
Again, case by case, but I think they should, if they have the opportunity to look at the documents and provide a price, send it in to us. Timing may be such that their particular trade may be coming down the line. They're not at the beginning of the project, maybe a month down the line where their involvement is required. It could have already gone through the pre-qualification process by that point. It doesn't hurt for you to get a bid, get a price in. And if there's a case where the pre-qualification is denied of some course, we can go back and we can revisit it and see what the issue was and work in some fashion.
Great. Next question is going to be for you, Joe. Are there opportunities for project controls, cost estimation, risk management services? Would there be something like that on the larger projects?
There would be, you know, again, more on, it could be both on the client side. We, again, do a lot of that in-house. If Holt gets particularly overwhelmed with the volume of work, we may look to outsource that. But at this time, yeah, there would be, right now, I would say more on the client side, that type of opportunity would be exist, and they can go to the website.
Right. But Jason Leisure scheduling is definitely something that we would want.
Absolutely. Maintaining on
Okay.
these schedules, especially even on the larger programs, that would be very beneficial to us.
Yeah, so larger program schedules are definitely something that we
Mhm.
would need. So we would definitely like you to pre-qualify with us. And I think that might be our last question for this afternoon. I want to, oh, wait, there's one last one. Our MBE for Port Authority was completed in the beginning of 2021. If it is still pending, will there affect our standing on these bids? If your MWBE for the Port Authority is still in the pending status, you could still bid these jobs. These are not strictly MWBE projects, so you could still bid them. We might not be able to say that you're an MBE or a WBE because you have not been fully vetted by the port, but the opportunity still is there for you. So please make sure you pre-qualify and you still bid. Yeah, this is not strictly for MWBEs. It's for everyone. We are still a best value, low bid for our clients. So make sure that you submit your pre-qual. The last question, I think this is the last one, and I will answer this one. Is this union or open shop? So all of the offerings right now are union. Holt Construction is a union company. As the larger projects arise, they may have a project labor agreement on them, but as of right now, they do not. So right now, all of the Newark projects through Holt are union. We do have other offerings through Holt that are non-union because they're working through project labor agreements. Those are outside of these offerings that are on our website. You could definitely still pre-qualify with us, and those opportunities can be sent to you if you are a non-union firm. So make sure. Holt is a very, very large company. We've been in business for 102 years. So we have offerings across the country, all over New Jersey, all over New York. We have a mixed bag of opportunities. So make sure you pre-qualify, because you cannot receive an opportunity to bid something unless your pre-qualified is in and approved. So this is a huge offering that we're giving everyone. So please make sure you pre-qualify with us. So I want to thank our panel. Thank you, gentlemen and lady. Thank you so much for joining us. I think this was great. Remember, if there's any follow-up questions, you guys can send an email to ewrta@holtcc.com and we will answer your question. If you're a little shy and you didn't want to put it in the chat, just make sure you send us an email and we'll answer that question. I want to invite all of you to come and join us next Friday again, same time at 12 o'clock for another great session. This session is going to be solely on pre-qualification. We're going to go through the pre-qualification application line by line with the actual people that are reviewing your application. So you can ask any question at that time. If your application is pending, if you have a question, if you haven't done it yet, I'm asking all of you to make sure you join that. We are going to go step by step, line by line, next Friday, January 14th. Join us again at 12 o'clock. And thank you all for joining. I'm so happy that we're starting this great opportunity Friday for Newark, and have a great weekend. Thank you.